Hello everyone, my name is the Emerald, and today we're going to be talking about something that I never expected to talk about on my channel ever, having to be dealing with law stuff. So the FTC, or the Federal Trade Commission, has just hit Hoyoverse, Cognosphere, whatever you want to call them, with a pretty big thing, with a $20 million fine, and there are some things they have to apparently change in order to follow suit with the thing. So here's the full thing here. We're not going to literally every single thing because this thing is like pretty long, right? In my opinion, it's like pretty long. It's like what, like 37 pages, and it's a lot of stuff that I'm just not going to go into. So I'll mainly talk about what they what like the main problems are, what they said, and then we'll go into what they have to change, which I think matters. So here they're basically saying, oh yeah, the making of video game Genshin Impact, they've agreed to actually pay $20 million and to block children under 16 from making in-game purchases without parental consent. But there are also some other things that we have to look into. We'll skip through all of this. So here are the violations here. We have to ignore that for the time being. They mainly talked about the idea that rates are not as promised. So if we scroll down a little bit in this document, I see it. So the biggest thing they're saying is, oh, this game is targeted towards children, but they make them spend a lot of money, which, I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know, this has been a problem for a long time, and it's only now cropped up, so I don't really get what this, like, this stuff has been around for years, and they're only now saying, yep, now we should act upon it. I don't get it. Like, and they're also using this very specific video for evidence, which is, I find crazy. Well, let's see if I can find it. Nope, it's not this. It's this big document. Listen. Here's another thing. It's about currency. Can I see if they talk about it? Nope, not this. Yeah, right here. Yeah, so yeah. Currency change genetics for pros the 1-to-1 ratio. Thus, the true cost to open a loot box is generally between $2 to $3, depending on the virtual currency bundle purchase, with larger bulk purchases required to get a more favorable rate. Yes, this is, while they are right about this, a lot of the parameters can be just saved for free, right? People who buy the crystals in should know what they're doing, getting into, right? I think so. We'll get into all this here. So here's what they were talking about here with the banners. So you can see that it says probability increased, and they complained about it. So basically saying, while they are saying, while it technically is true, like in this example, the Hida technically has increased probability, yeah, solely due to the fact that she was never on a banner to begin with, and she never will be outside of her own. So it went from 0% chance to get here to a slight chance to get it here. So there's that. And apparently they said the rates are also wrong. If I can find that, that'd be great. Ignore that. Okay, here we go. The consumer is presented with the promotional items subsection, yada yada. Percentage of 5-star item drop is 50% without adequate additional context. 0.6% chance of winning a 5-star. Consolidated probability, including guarantee, is 1.6%. Guarantee of 5-star, guarantee at least once in 90 attempts. And indicates that the feature has a huge drop rate boost, which they're not lying, but they're also being kind of secret about it. Actually, relative rates at which yada yada. Here we go. In reality, Hoyoverse offers consumers only a 0.3% chance of obtaining the specified featured hero. I don't know where they got this statistic from, but I won't say they're wrong because I don't know. But to put these low odds into perspective, this means that even if a consumer opens 50 loot boxes in a row, the consumer has odds of less than 50% chance to open a 5-star prize. 50 loot boxes in a row. That's, yeah. Consumers are also misled by Hoyoverse's guaranteed to win 5-star character at least once per 90 attempts, because they are led to believe that it applies to the 5-star character prominently featured in the event banner. But okay, here's the problem with that. In this very same, you know, I actually have Star open. We can actually use it here. In this very same thing here, they tell you that you have a 50% chance right here. The first time you obtain a 5-star character in this one, there's a 50% chance to be the promotional character. And Genshin says the same thing. They say the same thing. So I don't really get what they're doing there. I'm not too certain. Yeah, and yada yada. yada yada. Like I said, I never really going into these kind of things because I read this. While I do think some of the things they talk about are valid, like I think prices are very high. I do think this, and them stealing data, which I'm not too familiar with, but again, that's fine. Like they can talk about that. They are allowed to talk about that. Yeah, because somebody open as many as 108 loot boxes simply to get the prize of Hoyoverse features on the event banner. Yes, though what they don't tell you is about at a cost of $2-3 per loot box. This is right, but also iffy. So go as you will. Yada yada. They talk about a lot of stuff. So that's really what they're talking about. Like rates are unfair. And one thing they're talking about is there's no easy way to buy the character. I think maybe that has a point. You cannot buy the character outright, right? But like the problem, like that goes against, that just causes more problems, right? So if you give the players the option to buy the character outright, that promotes pay to win. That promotes it. Right? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's in this document somewhere. Here we go. Pay to win. They talked about this a couple of times. I think is this the one time they talked about it? Yeah, here we go. As Hoyoverse acknowledged in the product marketing presentation to a game platform partner, Genshin Impact is pay to win. I don't know where this comes from. I know it says where it is, but I don't know exactly what specific this comes from. But Genshin is not pay to win. Okay, pay to win assumes there is a competition to be had. Right? And you're paying to have a better advantage over other people. There is no competition in this game. There is not. People forced a way of making competitions. The game is paid to play. Yes, that is true. But the Genshin Impact has never been paid to win. Never has, and never will be, okay? Anyone tells you that the game is pay to win, they're lying to you. It's pay to play, yes, but it's pay to win. Pay to win? No, they're wrong. It's not pay to win. There are whales, there are dolphins, that's true. It's not pay to win. It is pay to play. There's a distinct difference. There's a distinct difference. I don't really get it. Because like what? Oh yeah, and honestly, this statement has kind of lost a little bit of meaning because for the past like what? 1-2 years, Genshin Impact has gotten so simple to the fact where I've been using such old characters and it still gets me through most content. Almost all content, to be fair. So this statement is kind of iffy. The only thing I can think of where it's maybe paid to play is theater, but theater is already kind of trash, so take that you will. I don't know. A lot of stuff is stupid. I think a lot of the claims they make are like kind of weird, but whatever, right? It's the FTC, what can you do? So here's what matters. We'll go over these points. We'll go over the second point in a second. So prohibited from allowing children under 16 to purchase loot boxes in their video games without a parent's affirmative express consent. We'll come back to this one in a second. Prohibited from misrepresenting loot box odds, prices, and features. I mean, they're not really misrepresenting prices to you. They're like, they don't tell you how much it's going to cost, but required to disclose loot box odds and exchange rates for multi-tiered virtual currency. I don't exactly know what that means. Like, I get this part, but what does disclose exchange rates for multi-tiered virtual currency? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Required to delete any personal information previously collected from children under 13 unless they obtain parental consent to retain such data, which is fine. And required to comply with COPPA, including its notice and consent requirements, yada yada. And a lot of this stuff is okay. Like, this is sure. Yeah, I don't really get what this means, but okay, yes, that's fine, and then sure. This one matters though. Prohibited from selling loot boxes using virtual currency without providing an option for consumers to purchase them directly with real money, right? Here's the problem with this. Well, there's a lot of problems with this, but here's the first and foremost one. They were talking about how Genshin Impact is pay to win, quote unquote. So with this, they're now promoting it more, right? They're promoting it more by doing this. Why? Well, simple. You can either try to summon it naturally or just pay your way to get the character. You see the problem with that? Right? And think like this. What if the character is $90? Like how much will the character cost? How much should a character cost? Right? Because again, there's a 50-50 chance. So what should the character cost in general? It should cost as, technically speaking, it should cost as like about as much as a bit more than the 50/50. That's what I would think. It gives players the option to, like, the incentive to summon is still there, but if they lose 50/50, they have to spend more money. That's the idea. The problem with that is now that, again, that promotes the pay to play win, whatever you call it, the pay to play aspect more. By option is question. Also, the character will have to go for, they will have to make the character go for a lot of money, straight up, right? Which I don't like. There's a lot of problems with this. I don't really get this one. Most likely, Hoyoverse is not going to go through with that, or they're going to make a very complicated way of going around that. Right? I don't think they're actually going to go through with that, because that just means that anyone can just buy the character and not summon. Because that means you can buy the character and then just save something for whoever else you want. Which, sure, but that goes against the whole point of a gacha. So, I don't know. I don't really know. This will mostly be implemented with the other Hoyo games too, so Star Rail and ZZZ, though that may take a little bit more time. We'll have to see. This entire thing has just been kind of weird. I don't know. I read through most of the document, and I just sat there going, "What?" I actually didn't read this either. Here's the pros order. Is this some document? No, it's a completely different document. Yeah. I'm not gonna try to read all this, because it's 6-7 pages long, and if I try to read through all this, I'm probably gonna have like an absolute aneurysm. Yeah. All you have to know is this: there are gonna be some changes. There will be changes, right? We'll definitely see this first one, and you'll most likely see this last one here. I don't know what they'll do with these three, because a lot of these just don't make sense to me. For misrepresenting loot box odds, prices, and features. What does this mean? Like loot box, like price, like what misrepresentation is there with prices? They lay it out to you straight up. Like, I don't really get the meaning of prices. Like, what? How much it would really cost to get a character? They don't really tell you outright, right? And again, like, if you just read, it tells you, hey, by the way, you will need at most 90 warps, right? It can come sooner, but you will need at least 90 warps, and then there is a 50/50 chance. Like, I don't really get it. We'll have to see. We'll see. I'm not crazy with law, so I don't know anything about this, and I'm just giving my input. I just think it's super weird, right? And they do it now of all times, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm not into law. I don't know anything about all this stuff, and I only really read this when it pertains to games I play. And I expected this happened a couple of years ago, but now it's kind of weird. I don't know why now, but sure. So let me know what you think of all this in the comments down below. I can only say we'll wait to see what happens, but this mostly will not affect me, because I already know how the game works, and I've played this game before. These will only really pertain to new players or people who are under 16. So we'll see what happens. I'm very curious to see what to do with the second option here, but we'll wait to see. That's it for this video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.